my family went to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, one of our favorite adventures was a copper mine tour at Adventure Mine. On our mine tour, we got to learn all about the history of mining in the Upper Peninsula and the conditions that the workers in the mines faced. And one of the fascinating things about the tour was that the workers would get 2 candles for their shift. They'd light the first candle, and when the first candle was getting low, they'd light the other candle. And when the second candle was getting low, they'd know it's time to get out, your shift is almost over. As with most cave or mine tours, there came a time in the adventure when the guide shut off all the lights. It was the darkest place I have ever experienced. You couldn't see a shadow or even your hand right in front of your face. It made me really grateful for our battery-operated lights that couldn't be snuffed out by a drip from the ceiling or by a puff of a breeze. As we read the Bible, caves seem to be places where biblical characters find themselves in some of the most trying as well as some of the most exhilarating circumstances. We kicked off our series on Easter called Meeting God in Dark Spaces. And during this series, we're looking at the caves connected to different biblical characters, each with a unique story that we believe will connect with our stories today. Now, throughout our cave journey, we've used a consistent definition for a cave. A cave can either be a hiding place or a holy place. Will you say that with me? A cave can either be a hiding place or a holy place. Each of these caves in the biblical stories was a dark space where someone, when they were ready, they got to and had to choose. Would it be a place to hide or a place to encounter God? Would it be a place to get away or to seek? Would they run or would they respond? Now, some of the people in the Bible were hiding, eluding, and living on the run, but they forgot the old adage that everywhere I go, there I am. But also remember today that everywhere I go, God also goes. God also goes. The writer of the Psalms reminds us, where can I go from your presence? If I go to heaven, you are there. If I go to hell, you are there. The cave stories we're focusing on in this series are the caves where people sought and met God and they were transformed. Their caves became a place to encounter God who loves them the most and the best. Now, it doesn't matter whether our cave is a cave of depression or fear or anger or grief. God wants to meet us where we are and transform us into the person we can become in God. The truth that we need to settle in our minds is that God wants to meet us in the dark spaces in our lives. Let me repeat that. God wants to meet us in the dark spaces in our lives. In life, you will travel to caves. And whether it's a hiding place or a holy place, that really depends on you. Whether you elude God or encounter God, that depends on you. Whether you hide from God or seek God during your cave time, depends on you. Now, today we're going to journey to the cave of anger with an Old Testament guy by the name of Samson. That's right, Samson. Now, anger is common to the human condition. We've all been angry at some point. The Encyclopedia of Psychology defines anger in this way. Anger is an emotion characterized by antagonism towards someone or something that you feel has deliberately done you wrong. Anger can be a good thing. It can give you a way to express negative feelings, for example, or motivate you to find solutions to problems. Now, here's the point of that first part of that definition of anger. Anger can be a good thing. Don't forget that today. When anger motivates us to express negative feelings or motivates us towards solutions to problems, it's good. It's good. Being angry is not wrong. It's natural, it's normal, and it can be really helpful for righting things in our world that are wrong. Now, when I get angry about the shooting at MSU this past February, that's a good and natural thing. Something needs to change regarding school shootings. When I get angry over injustices, that's a good thing. We need to make some changes in the way we police in our country. We need to make some changes in the way that our society disadvantages people of color. Now, there are huge things that are wrong with our world, and it's okay and it's good to be angry about them. God gets angry about these things too. Let's not lose the good side of anger as we talk today about the cave of anger. Which brings us to our first question for discussion. let's pause and contemplate the good side of anger. So here's our question. Where have you seen or experienced that anger can be a good thing? Let's take a moment and talk about that.